once again, digging through the data for our listeners. Please subscribe. I do this for you. I do this for myself. This makes me money. The CME Fed Watch tool. Okay, there will be a link in the show notes for you to go look at this, but you can Google it. The CME Fed Watch tool. Magically, right after this happens.
Oh, really?
A rate cut in September basically now has a 100% possibility. In other words, the market is now betting we get a rate cut in September. There's a couple other factors, but one of them was Trump. The other one is inflation, cooling down, and Jerome changing his speaking, his focus, because the focus pivoted from inflation to, hey, boys and girls, Papa Powell says inflation's kind of looking good right now. And, let's start talking about jobs. And you had a couple Fed chairs come out and say, you know what? We can cut 2%. Then Jerome in the last 7 days at a press conference said it would be unwise for us to wait until we hit 2%. We have to cut before then. Otherwise, we're being too restrictive. So they're laying the groundwork for cuts. The actual number is a 94% chance of a rate cut in September. Trump is already acting presidential. I'm dead serious. He went and did an exclusive interview with Barron's, and then I forget where this other one came from. He basically said, hey, Jerome, I'm not going to oust you before the end of your term. So he publicly said he wasn't going to fight with him.
Oh, I bet Papa Powell like that.
He did, but then he asked for something. Please don't cut before the elections. So he basically publicly put it out there. Bro, I'm not going to fight with you.
That is bold. I didn't know this.
I'm not going to fight with you if you don't cut rates. Now, my own personal opinion, don't cut rates before the election. Don't even muddy the waters.
Why?
Wait till after the election.
Because it could be looked at as a political kind of play to get more votes.
Pro whomever. I like how the Fed has always represented itself as a non-politically partisan entity. I think if they can hold off, and there's economic data saying they shouldn't, and the bond market is already betting they're going to in September, but I think they need to. I think that would be a strong call. Second, it supports our theory that you and I talked about earlier, that Papa Powell is playing for legacy and trying to kill this idea of the Fed put, where the Fed's just always bailing us out. Because the Fed fund rate today is more restrictive because inflation just ticked down again than it has been. So we're in the most restrictive stance that our government has had on monetary policy right now.
Ever?
Not ever.
Oh, okay.
Most restrictive in the last 15 years.